we started with some basic grip fighting and guard. I'm not going to go over all of that. I already uploaded the video, so just review the video there. But the main takeaway is two main points that I like to just kind of hammer home. Point one, stay safe. Okay, I don't want to grip fight here, because now I'm giving my opponent a guard, he can start doing things, okay? I want to grip fight from here. I'm not crossing his foot line. He has to reach me to get his grips, and now I can start building things up, okay? And really important, I always want my head more or less in line with his head. If I'm up here, now he can just shoot and take me down. If I have my head in line and he tries to shoot, he gives himself a head cut. So that's a bit of protection there. So that's just basic outside passing fundamentals. Rule number one, just stay safe. Okay, don't put yourself needlessly in danger. Rule two, this is the one I'm harping on a lot right now in pretty much every class. Never return to zero. Okay, so Jan gets a grip. Yeah, I don't want to do this, because now we're at zero. Okay, he has nothing, I have nothing. Now, if Jan just consistently grabs hands, then just grab like crazy. And if I just do this all the time, all I'm doing is just constantly returning zero. Jan is constantly attacking. I am eventually going to run out of gas if I do that. Okay, so always, if he gets a grip, counter grip. So if Jan gets a grip, I always want to get my own grip. Now we're not at zero. Now I have the advantage. Okay, so same thing if he gets a collar tie, I don't want to just do this. Because again, now I'm at zero. If he gets a collar tie, I'm going to do this. Now I've got a grip, I've created back exposure, now he has to defend me and I can attack. Okay, so two basic rules, stay safe, always counter grip, never return to zero. Okay, so, and I want to work right now off of this back exposure position. Okay, so when approaching seated guard, I think we basically have three main rules of attack. Back, attack chest to back, make him go supine, or front headlock. Okay, I want to spend today just on that first option. These are not in order of importance, they're just, one of them has to be first. Okay, so we're going to start with chest to back, just because I think it's a good place to start. And most of the chest and back things are going to lead into supine anyway, so I think it's a good place to start. So, what I want to first do whenever, like I said, we want to start with our grips. I like to start with an arm drag, and I want to go outside of his legs. That's why it's called outside passing. I don't want to go this way, because now I'm giving him a guard. He's in a full guard, close half guard. Yeah, exactly. Now I'm giving him a guard. Okay? I always want to keep my feet outside of his feet. A general rule you can think of is you always want both feet on one side of your body. Okay? So we're going to start just arm drag, and I'm going to cross step so that both of his feet are on the outside of my body now. And from here, just go chest to back. And I just want to stop here, because we're going to do things differently once we get here, okay? We're not going to do your standard jiu-jitsu. So, okay, we're here, arm drag, cross step out, chest to back. Okay? And just rest here for a second. Clear what I want to see? Okay, we'll start there. We're going to build up chest to back. What we do once we get our chest to the back, because we're not going to do what you think we should be doing. And then we're going to go over a couple of different ways to get chest to back. Okay, so let's get started. Now that's starting to look good. So I do want to I make something clear that I didn't quite do in the demo that I did the last one. So when I was showing this, okay, I was coming up in here like this. I was this far away because I was wanting to make sure you could see the step I was doing. When I'm doing this to someone, I wouldn't be that high up. I would come over here and I would get my chest here first and start getting weight on his body. And from here, I would start doing the steps. Okay? So just for demo purposes, I was doing it up here so you could see the cross step I was doing, and then I'm not going like this. But when you're doing this live, so arm drag, and then basically I bring my chest to his shoulder, and then I start with my cross step. Okay? So that's just a quick explanatory note with the entry. So now what we do once we get him there, okay? What we do once we get chest to back, okay? Because we're not going to do jiu-jitsu. So, the problem with a lot of people when they're doing, they get here, this looks good, they get here, and then they start falling back, trying to get hooks. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that. It's not just that if someone has good back escapes, they could probably escape that. The bigger problem is, the minute I sit to go take his back, he is no longer carrying my weight. And I don't want that. Okay? I want him carrying my weight at all times. Okay? And that's when I say we're not going to do jiu-jitsu, that's what I mean. We're going to ignore the jiu-jitsu instinct of, I have chest to back, hooks in, go to back control, because when I go hooks in and go to back control, I take my weight off him, and I let him gain his mobility back. And that's not what I want. I want him to be completely immobile for as long as possible. So, whole thing, we come here, we come here. Now, once I get here, what I'm going to do instead of sinking to his back is I'm going to start removing posts here, and I'm going to start sinking in with my knee. So first this hand comes up and goes to his back. That takes care of this post. And now I start sinking in like this. Okay? How's this feel?
Not fine.
Yeah. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now, this hand comes up, and I want to get in here. How's this feel?
Pretty pins.
Yeah. Which would you prefer, this or that back kick that I tried earlier?
Yeah, the other one I knew how to get out.
Yeah, exactly. And what I want to do is I want to cook him here for a bit. Okay? I want him to try and escape for a bit. And now look, he just gave me mouse. Okay? That's how I want us to do this instead, okay? Instead of doing this typical jiu-jitsu score point as quickly as possible, I want us to cook our opponent a little bit and let him get tired carrying our weight for a bit in a really uncomfortable position. And instead of trying to pass the guard as quickly as possible, we let him do the pass for us. Okay? So this is, I've recommended it 1,000 times. Craig Jones's leg riding instructional. This is almost one-to-one example out of that. I've seen Craig do this a lot as well. And again, rule number 1 in jiu-jitsu is get on top. Rule number 2 in jiu-jitsu is stay on top. So I don't want to fall, because the other problem I have with that falling back take that I did in the beginning is I give up top position. And I never want to do that. So always have your weight on him, always make him do the work. So again, showing that, so we come here, chest back, cross, pin. Now, start removing posts. First here, crush that leg, bring it up here. Okay? And this is not a neck crank, so this is legal. And just let him carry your weight for a bit.
Yeah, it feels good to get some on.
Yeah, exactly. That's what you want. That is the optimal situation. Is you put him in a position where he goes, oh, thank God I'm in mount. Okay, that's what I want. Okay, so I've also said this when we were doing the chest on chest half guard passing. Ideally, you should put your opponent in a position where at the end he says, oh God, would you just fucking pass? Okay? And that's what I want us to do here. Is instead of doing the typical, jump to the back, and he gets an escape, maybe he doesn't, but he's not carrying your weight, put him in a position where he basically says, oh, please go to mount, I don't want this anymore. Okay? So, anyone need to see that again? Do you want to see that?
Oh, no.
Okay, so let's work on that, and then we'll take things a little bit further. Okay?